Hey, True Believers, Englentine here with another top 10 comic books sold to readers. Now, Comic-Con, great list, tells you what the comic book shops are buying. This list tells you what customers are leaving those shops with, preferably after paying for them. After we look at the hard copy countdown, we're going to go over to Comixology, world's largest digital comic book shop, and see who wins the week. Is it Marvel? Is it DC or Independence? Who knows? This is a list from Bleeding Cool to take it with a grain of salt. Now, these are the comic shops that took place in the countdown this week or took part in it. So, by all means, if you're in their area, stop by, say hi, maybe buy something. And don't forget, support your own local comic book shop. Now, without further ado, let's get this party started. At number 10, we have Justice League Dark, number 17. Coming in at number 9, John Constantine, Hellblazer, number 1. In the 8th spot, Dark Multiverse, Infinite Crisis, number 1. At number 7, we have Action Comics 1017. Coming in at number 6 is The Flash, number 83. At number 5, we have Fallen Angels, number 2. At number 4, Venom, number 20. Coming in at number 3 is Detective Comics 1016. And the runner-up in the number 2 slot is New Mutants, number 2. And leading the pack in the number 1 slot is X-Force, number 2. Holy Toledo. Okay, by numbers, DC wins 5-4, but the 4 are in position 1, 2, 4, and 5. 4 slots in the top 5. Even though the numbers say differently, I've got to go against my team here and say Marvel wins the week physically. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're doing that, I'm going to head on over and see what the comic book shops have to say about this week's countdown. Was an alright week. No real hot comics to drive people in this week. People are getting confused by the DC covers. Had people that thought the Action Comics issue was a Lex Luthor comic. And after looking at it, I could see why. You could say they're kind of lazy by not lifting up the acetate or whatever you call it. But in all honesty, yeah, I'm not a big fan when they do this anyway. Tell you the truth. It's Justice League Dark, not Injustice Gang. People who are not in the know are going to be confused. Pretty slow week for new releases at the FFF, with Venom taking the top spot in of itself. That's not surprising, but the amount we sold is. But I foresee the next week being a little bit busier as people will actually be in town to pick up their weekly pull. The weekly X books were New Mutants and X-Force at number 2 and number 4, and Fallen Angels at number 5. Constantine's new series started off with a fair showing as it hit number 3 in our top 10. The shock of the week, other than the low turnout for new books, was how well we sold on Conan 2099. These new Conan fans who came out of the woodwork when Marvel got the rights back are open to trying anything with a Sumerian in it. Flash hasn't been on the top 10 list in a while, but thanks to the light turnout, it's back in the top 10 at number 10. All this talk of slow new books aside, we've actually done very well with our back issues during our Black Friday Small Business Saturday. It's funny how we still do well with comics, just not anything new. Well, if only there were a group of YouTubers that were pointing out all the problems of the comic book industry to head off all of this trouble and point out and say, hey guys, look, we love your characters, we want to read them, but you're doing us wrong here. If only there were those people. Slower week due to the holiday, but the Dawn of X titles are still holding strong, with X-Force leading the charge. Aside from the flagships X-Men book, X-Force is the title that seems to be doing the best, given the previous issue's cliffhanger and the fact that people like X-Force a lot more when it's not being headlined by edgy teenaged Cable. Though admittedly, the most frequently asked question these days is, what the is going on with Cable? Speaking of Fallen Angels is holding on better than expected, all things considered. We were shorted on Detective Comics pretty significantly, otherwise that title would almost certainly have been higher on the list. Wow. Okay, so I'm behind a couple of weeks and I haven't read X-Force and a lot of the new X books. I'm not a big fan of it, so I didn't feel like I needed to rush out and get it or anything like that. Teenage Cable, that sounds bad enough to have to look at. Seriously, it really does. That's like, ooh, that sounds cringy and good. Like, not like good, but like, oh my gosh, maybe video could be made out of it good. Anyway, there you go, gang. That's what the comic book shops have to say. It's a light week for comments. So why don't we go on over to Comixology, world's largest digital comic book shop, and we'll check that out and see who wins the week, Marvel or DC. I think there might actually be some independent comic books here this week. Starting the countdown off at number 10 is Shazam, number 8. Coming in at number 9, East West, number 44. In the number 8 spot, Star Trek Picard Countdown, number 1. At number 7 is Detective Comics 1016. In the number 6 spot, Avengers, number 27. Coming in at number 5 is The Dark Multiverse, Infinite Crisis, number 1. At number 4, we have Action Comics, number 1017. Number 3 brings us Fallen Angels, number 2. In the runner-up position at number 2 is New Mutants, number 2. And just like in the hard copy countdown, X-Force number 2 takes the number 1 slot. Okay, see, once again, numbers in position are telling a different story. It's 4 and 4, so it's a tie, basically, except 1, 2, and 3. This time it's 1, 2, and 3 for the X-Books? Really? Not even giving them a chance, huh? Not giving DC a chance to step up and say, hey, this is what we're all about. Yeah, we're good books or anything like that. Damn, Brian Michael Bendis has buried the shit out of... You know what? I can't help but think maybe this Year of the Villain thing has run on a little bit long. You know, I don't know. Anyway, I like to expand, and I would do it if DC were in the lead, and I'm going to do it now when Marvel is. We're going to check out the back half. Unfortunately, as I said, Marvel usually owns the back half, but we're going to see who wins when we take this to 20. Oh, and it should be noted, 2 independent comic books in the top 10. That is rare indeed. At number 11 is Justice League Dark, number 17. It's now 5-4 DC's favor. Coming in at number 12 is The Flash, number 83. It's now 6-4 in DC's favor. Number 13 is Lazarus Risen, number 3. That adds one more. It's 3 independent comic books in the countdown. At number 14 is Venom, number 20. It's now 6-5 in DC's favor. At number 15, Valkyrie, number 5 makes it a tie game, 6-6. Coming in at 16 is Hellblazer number 1, so DC has it, 7-6. At number 17, Star Wars Dr. Aphra, number 39, ties it up, 7-7. Coming in at number 18 is Red Hood number 40. It's now 8-7 in DC's favor. At number 19, we have Ruby number 7, and it is now DC 9, Marvel 7. And at number 20 is Supergirl number 36, and the final score is DC 10, Marvel 7. Woohoo! Not only a win for my team, we have a clear win for my team. That rarely happens. But seriously, yeah, Marvel, suck it. DC 1, whoop, whoop. Alrighty, guys, there you go. I never hide it. I never hide the fact that I like the DC characters more, even though, in all honesty, the books tend to suffer these days. Didio! So there you go, gang. That is the countdown. What do you think? What was way too high in the countdown like all the X books? What's way too low in the countdown like all the DC comics? Let me know in the comments below. And let me have it for being a DC fan if you need to already. Okay, anyway, don't forget to click like, share, subscribe if you haven't done it already. More importantly, ring that notification bell and make sure the notifications are on all so you don't miss anything. Cool things happen around these parts. Hate for you to miss it. Seriously. Also, if you don't mind helping out the channel, go on over to Ko-Fi or to Patreon. Drop $1 in the tip jar, or you could commission a video for Old Man Comics over there and go over to Ko-Fi. Just pick out whatever subject, whatever topic. We'll get that video out to you ASAP. I'd like to thank everybody who's already done that. And to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.